Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today we are starting a recipe that will take us, I believe, at least 3 days to do. 2 full days. 2 full days. You can probably shorten that down a little bit if you want to. Anyway, so tonight we are starting the White Sow's Crispy Pork Belly and Apple Slaw from Teresa Carle-Sanders' Outlander Kitchen Cookbook 2, the second one. And we were meant to have this for dinner tonight, and I didn't look at the recipe in depth except to make sure I had all the ingredients until late last night, at which point this was not defrosted, and I realized that we have to season it, mix up some sort of cure, not brine really, more of a cure, and rest it overnight in the refrigerator before we do anything else. So that's what we're doing tonight. So I have a skinless pork belly. It's a relatively small portion, but plenty for my family. And we're going to add, I've measured out the sugar, just plain white sugar. I'm going to add some kosher salt. And now I'm going to just let this go until I get about the amount that I think, because I'm not going to measure it. All right. So that is obviously some black pepper in my handy dandy electronic grinder. I like it. It doesn't give me the most consistent grind, but the occasional larger piece is not a deal breaker for me. So I'm going to mix this up. There we go. It smells mostly like pepper. And let me turn the page and see what we're supposed to do with this. I think we rub the pork liberally. She calls it a dry brine. So we're going to just basically use all of this. I don't see any reason not to. So put about half of it there. Turn it over. I did dry it off with some paper towels since it had been frozen and was a little wet. I'm going to kind of make sure the edges get a little bit. And now we're meant to just cover this and put it in the refrigerator. I don't know that I currently have a place to put this whole thing, so I'm just going to stick it into a gallon Ziploc bag and put it in the refrigerator overnight. So we'll see you tomorrow to continue with this recipe. Okay. This is my pork belly. It's been in the refrigerator for like 24 hours because it was since last night. And we're about to cook it. And she doesn't say we need to dry it off or anything. She says she put it in either a parchment covered cast iron skillet, which I didn't want to deal with all that, or a baking dish. A small roasting pan is what she says. This will do fine. You probably want to be careful not to have one that's gonna twist in the oven, because we'll probably render some fat out of this, and you don't want that going all over your oven and probably catching fire. Anyway, my oven is set to 450 degrees, and we're gonna put this in on the middle rack for 30 minutes, at which point we're gonna turn it down to 275 and cook it until it's tender but not falling apart. Another 1.5 to 2 hours. So this is a really short section for something that's going to take us quite a while to do, but it's pretty simple. So I will probably show you what it looks like at that 30-minute mark, and then what it looks like when we decide it's done, and let you know what we do when it is done in the oven, because we're not eating this today. This is my pork belly after about 30 minutes. My timer got accidentally reset, so I just kind of had to estimate. But so this was 30 minutes at 450 degrees. I've turned the oven down to 275, And I'm going to stick it back in and set a timer for, I think I'm going to start checking it at about an hour, but she says it'll take an hour and a half to 2 hours to be, you know, tender, but not falling apart. So I'll show you what it looks like at that point and tell you how long I think it took. My pork belly has been in the oven for a total of 2 hours now. So it was half an hour at 450 and an hour and a half at 275. And now I just kind of, seems like it is tender. The meat part especially is what I'm concerned about. And it kind of, I can put my fork in it and it seems good. What I need to do now is let this cool to room temperature, probably on a rack. Transfer it to a rack and let it cool completely. So I guess I'll see you in about an hour. My pork belly is pretty cool now, and I'm ready to be done for tonight. So I need to wrap it tightly in plastic wrap. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to give it probably 2 layers of plastic wrap. And this is going to go in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours and up to 2 days. So we're planning to eat it tomorrow, so I guess we'll see you tomorrow. We finally get to eat this pork belly tonight. The first thing we have to do today is to make the slaw. So I've used my new food processor to shred some cabbage, both green cabbage and purple cabbage, and some carrots. So it may be a little bit smaller than if you shredded this by hand, but you can do it whichever way you like. Hers looks a little more hand shredded. Mine is in the food processor, so the cabbage got pretty small, but I don't care about that. And we're going to add some green onions that I just cut up with a knife. She said on the bias, sort of diagonally, white and green parts only. And then to this, we're going to add some caraway seeds. This is an optional ingredient, but I happen to have them, which was good because when I went to go find them at the grocery store, they did not have any. So there we go, caraway seeds. And now all we need for this is the dressing. So I'm going to make that in this little bowl here. And I'm going to try to do this in such a way that I don't have to get out my other plungy measuring system for this, because we only need like a small amount of that. So I'm going to add some olive oil. I'm going to put that in here first. And then I'm going to put my honey in the same measuring spoon, and hopefully it will just slide right out. That is the goal here. Pretty good. Got most of it out perfectly. And then we're going to put some red wine vinegar. I have this Banyuls red wine vinegar that I've had in my cabinet for a while, and I've just been trying to use it up now. So I'm using that, but she can also use apple cider vinegar. Oops, there we go. All right. And then I need some Dijon mustard, which I'm going to try and measure with this. because it is almost empty and it doesn't want to come out. That's the one bad thing about these squeezy jars of mustard. So that's kind of an approximate measurement, but it's fine. So now we need to season this to taste with salt and pepper. Actually, let's whisk it up first. So the mother of a vinegar is sort of like the mother of a kombucha. It's vinegar is made by an organism of probably bacteria, beneficial bacteria, maybe yeast. I don't know the details, but that's what turns the liquid into sort of a vinegary, or I think in kombucha you even get a little bit of alcohol, so maybe there is yeast involved there. And it kind of forms a glob in the bottom or in the top. And so you can use that to make more vinegar later. So that's what the mother is. If you ever hear that, it's fine. You can eat it. It's just part of it, part of how it gets made. Usually I think it's strained out and you don't get it in most of the stuff you buy at the grocery store. So there's a little bit left in here. I'm not going to worry about it. But now I need to season it to taste with salt and pepper, so I'm just going to wing it. There's a lot of cabbage in here, so I'm not going to be too shy about the salt. Just rub it. Mostly tastes vinegary. Okay, so now that that has been whisked up, we're supposed to pour this over the cabbage salad and toss it well. We will be adding the apples to this. There's some tart green apples, so basically Granny Smith, that we're adding to this, but we don't add that until right before we serve it. So I will be getting that julienne. I think I'm going to try to use this for that as well, because I've got a julienne blade and I really just want to try it out. So we're going to toss this up. Get it all nicely mixed. There's a lot of slaw here. Now this needs to sit for at least an hour and up to 6. So I've got some time here on my hands to prepare the rest of my meal. She suggests serving this with cornbread. If you're serving it as a main, which we are, I'm gonna roast some potatoes. That's what I've decided I'm going to serve it with. So this goes in the refrigerator to kind of meld. And then we'll be back in, I don't know, half an hour or so to start the process of crisping up our pork belly. I'm supposed to do this just before serving, but I'm going to do this now before we get to the pork part, because I don't think it matters all that much right now. Apples do go brown, but whatever. I just julienne these up also with my food processor, and I really like the way that looks. It turned out really well. But we're going to just stir these into our slaw, and then I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator and just let the apples sit there with it, and it should be fine until we are ready to eat. That is good for now. Now I'm going to put these in the refrigerator and come back with the pork. Let me start from this side just because it's straighter. So now we are supposed to cut this crossways, so this way, I believe is what she means, into 1/2 inch slices. that's all I'm going to cut for right now. That's like 2 slices per person, and we can always crisp up some more because the next part doesn't take very long at all. So we're going to go to the stove where I have my cast iron skillet heating, and we're going to turn that up to medium high. I just have it on medium for right now. And we're going to fry these up till they're crispy over the stove. So this got pretty hot pretty quickly. We don't need to put any oil or anything in here because this is going to render some for sure. I'm going to put, I can probably fit all of my slices in here. Yep, there we go. It's still really cold, but we're going to just fry these up until they are crispy on both sides. And then we'll be all done. It's supposed to only take 5 to 7 minutes. The rest of our meal is all done. So, and since it was all completely cooked, very safe, I'm just going to put the finished slices when I think they're done back on this plate that I used to move them from the cutting board. So, got it medium high and try to leave them be for at least a couple minutes. So I've turned them all over. Some of them were a little browner than others. I kind of had to move things from the outside of the pan towards the inside to keep the browning a little bit more even. But I think we're close to done. I think we're good. I think all of them are pretty much done. They're a little extra brown on the edges, but I wouldn't call that too burnt, honestly. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to plate it up. We'll show you what it looks like and tell you what we think. Just a second. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make the White Sow's crispy pork belly and apple slaw from Teresa Carle-Sanders' second Outlander Kitchen cookbook. So I don't think I've ever dry brined a pork belly before. Not myself anyway. Usually when we cook pork belly, we will smoke it and then crisp it up in the oven. So like as a whole thing instead of slicing it first and then crisping it up. But it's pretty impossible to slice it and then crisp it up when it's hot. So I understand chilling it until it is completely cold and then slicing and crisping it up. But this turned out really well. The pork was great. It was seasoned nicely all the way through. It was crispy and it didn't take that long on the last day, but it's definitely a recipe you have to plan for because you do have to take like 2 days approximately before you want to eat it, where you do a little bit every day. Second day was mostly hands off in the oven, so that's not too bad. I don't think the slaw was our favorite. We generally prefer a mayo-based slaw here in this area, and it was good. It was fine. I liked the addition of the green apple. I see the reason to not have a mayo-based slaw to go with this pork belly because pork belly is really, fatty and rich, and having the vinegary slaw is, cuts through that fat a little bit better. So it pairs nicely, but I just don't think it was our favorite one. But if you have tried this, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed watching me make it, give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends, hit the subscribe button, and come back and watch me make something else next week.